It's the Wrestling Caucus. I'm Peter A.
I'm Smiley Ariaga.
And today we're going to recap AEW Dynasty and preview Backlash France. And so we're going to start with AEW Dynasty, which I thought was an excellent show, one of the best shows that AEW's put out this year, even though it's only their second one. But let's get started with this card. We're going to dive into Pac and Okada. This is for the Continental title. What'd you think of this?
Oh, this match is really good. I mean, I had a hard time watching it on the website that I was watching it on because I kept having to just like every 5 minutes, every five seconds, just because it kept buffering and it was horrible. But like the match itself was awesome. Like these two like Okada and Pac have like the best drop kicks on the roster.
Yeah, this match was very good. There was really great drama and crowd interactions with Okada. He just gets it. You know, he did his spot where he extends his arm out for the Rainmaker and there's a big zoom out, and then instead he just kind of flipped the crowd off. It was really
Yeah,
cool. I thought it was great. And I
I like
thought,
Okada. I just wish he wasn't with the idiots, but I like him. I do like
yeah,
Okada a lot.
yeah. And Pac, he did a great job of um you know selling very well, making things look like they were, painful, like the DDT that he took. And, he kind of sold it like RVD used to sell the DDTs.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
wild.
And
Yeah.
Okada actually went for a pin after he DDT'd him. People don't do that. It's usually like a transition. A lot of people use it as like a transitional move, but he actually went for a pin after DDTing him. It was good.
Yeah. This was a phenomenal opener. It could have been a main event on any card, but when you look at what was on this card, you know, the fact that this was the opener, it definitely set the stage of what we were going to see later on. So, here's a
I
match that
was
I'm kind
most
of
I
yeah.
was gonna say like I was most impressed by the fact that the referee was actually counting when the wrestlers were outside. A lot of times, like if Aubrey Edwards were refereeing, she would just like let them do whatever they want. But this guy was actually counting. He was
Yeah,
actually
they didn't do the whole attitude era thing where as soon as the guys leave the ring, that's it. Uh
yeah.
so oh wait, before we get into Briscoe, Copeland, Kingston, House of Black, I gotta tell you uh my pay-per-view viewing experience for the show. So I go to order the show on Sunday, and usually on Sling, when you buy the show, as soon as the payment goes through, within a few seconds or a minute or so, the pay-per-view channel appears on your guide within the app. So I ordered it around like 7-ish. It should have been set up right away because the buy-in starts at 7. And when you buy the show before the buy-in starts, as soon as the buy-in starts at 7 o'clock, you can, when you order the show, you can watch the buy-in through the pay-per-view channel on Sling, right? So that didn't happen. The pay-per-view channel didn't appear. And then 8 o'clock roamed around and I wasn't able to watch the show at all live. So I spent a few minutes going through trying to find some sort of help. I reached out to Sling on their X account, DM them, nothing. Used their help chat, which didn't really help much at all. So the next day, I pirated the show because I paid money and I wasn't able to watch it. So I pirated it. I don't care what anyone says. So um the next
Don't get
day,
us both caught. I'll try
I
to
don't
be
care.
discreet before.
Like, yeah. But so the next day I go to their corporate website, I find their PR email. I send an email to them. They get back to me within probably like 24 hours or so, 48 hours. They said pay-per-views aren't really refundable, but in this case we'll give it to you. So I'm gonna get a refund for the show, which is
You
great.
still haven't gotten it yet? You told me this briefly like a few days ago.
Yeah, they said within like 5 business days, which is fine.
Oh.
But I thought about canceling Sling, but I did research on the other streaming TV options. And if for those who going to cut the cord, so to speak, but still want to watch some cable channels, Sling is the better option because it's cheaper. YouTube TV is way too expensive, and Fubo is just as expensive. but not as expensive as YouTube TV. But they don't have all the channels I want. So
I heard
Sling is
about a
ever
few people having problems getting the pay-per-view in real time with different outlets too, so I don't think it was just you.
no, it wasn't. But yeah, at least that problem was resolved. I'm getting my money back. Okay, so Briscoe, Copeland, Kingston, and House of Black. This match, it was good. It was good, but
No, I'm
it
laughing
didn't.
because the House of Black are so evil. It's funny. Like it's just like it's like silly amounts of evil. I mean, they're good. They're all of them are amazing. Like Malachi, I can't help but to call him Master Black. Fucking uh, Brody King and Buddy Murphy are incredible. All of them are amazing, but they're just so like hilariously evil. Like they just
It's hard to take them seriously
yeah.
because the setup to this match, it was just so the House of Black. They did a promo. I think it was on Collision or Dynamite. Yeah, it was Dynamite, and they were cutting a promo against Kingston, Briscoe, and Copeland, and they didn't make any sense. I didn't know what they were talking about. It sounded like they weren't gonna wrestle in a couple of days. That's what it sounded like. And honestly, I didn't really want to talk about it, but it was really good. And I thought that they set up Aleister Black and Copeland very well for the TNT title match whenever they're gonna do that, either on another Dynamite or another Collision or at Double or Nothing. That was good, but honestly, with this show was 4 hours, this could have been on Collision or a Dynamite. Did you see this?
Yeah, I mean, I did like this. I thought it was kind of one of the more entertaining six mans in AEW, but it's still a six man in AEW. I can't. It's like the loudest thought in my head was a lot of these should just be one on one matches. I mean, I do want to see. I want to see Mark Briscoe beat everybody. I do. I would like to see Aleister Black versus Edge, and Brody King versus Mark Briscoe. I would love to see that, but I mean, yeah, but that's just what I think about when I watch AEW six man. I'm like, this would be better if these were different one on one matches on Collision on TV, not on pay per view.
But I honestly would say that they did some really cool tag team spots. Um, I actually was able to keep up with everything. It didn't just go out of whack like some AEW six mans often happen. But in this case, it was very easy to watch. It was very simple. They did crazy spots at the right time, I thought, and it all looked good. But there was no real reason to care about this match, aside from the fact that they were setting up Copeland and Aleister Black. But that was about it, or Malachi Black, whatever. On a show like this shouldn't have been on here.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
pay per view is for like one on one matches, unless there's like a good reason. No,
you
well, not
don't
all the
need
time, but like or
no.
tag team and like singles, like more simple matches. Like unless like a really good reason, you shouldn't have this like random six mans all the time. Like this just felt random.
Yeah, you
Like
don't need to have what there that's never a thing. No pay-per-view needs to have just one-on-one matches. But this particular match didn't need to be on the show. Um it just didn't really. It just because it was already stacked, it was already loaded up. It was just to get everybody on the card, and I just don't really like that mentality. Um Toni Storm, Thunder Rosa, AEW Women's Title, one of the best matches on the show. One of my favorites. This was outstanding. What did you think of this one?
oh, this is my one of my favorite this actually probably was my favorite match on the show, honestly. Like it's just these two like they didn't miss an opportunity to to pin each other. Like they were both trying to win. It wasn't just, oh, let me just get my stuff in. They were both trying to like win at any chance they could get. And like I love that Toni Storm is one of the few people that actually gets wins with with her pile driver. Like it I don't know. And Rosa is amazing. Like Rosa was selling her back like wonderfully. Like yeah, this match was really really fun.
Yeah, I like the story of Thunder Rosa's back, and her having to relinquish the title from her being injured, and she hasn't been in the ring really in AEW in almost 2 years, which is crazy. And the build up to this match was outstanding. like Thunder Rosa was gonna take Toni Storm to hell. Then Toni Storm cut this crazy promo and saying that I make love to my demons on a nightly basis.
Yeah,
So
I saw that.
that was
Yeah.
just that's crazy. I love
She's a
that.
great promo. Like they do ham up her aesthetics too much sometimes, but she herself is great. She herself is wonderful.
Yeah,
I
which
just
which
wish
I
they'd
can
let her
understand.
do the heavy lifting as opposed to just adding a bunch of things to her. You know what I
I
mean?
Yeah, I can understand them focusing on her character more because Toni Storm, the one thing that we knew about her before she developed this character is that she was a good wrestler, right? And she had a good look to her and everything, but that was about it. You know, she was a wrestler, a really good wrestler. In a promotion that was filled with good wrestlers. But um now I think there's a healthy balance, right? She's a great we know she's developed this amazing personality, but that a lot of people are into. And when she gets in the ring, she's one of the best. So that's what happened here. And if you didn't order Dynasty, this is one of the matches I would go out of my way to see. This was just outstanding. It was very, very compelling.
Every
Um,
time Tony
yeah,
Storm wrestles, I feel like I'm watching a wrestling show. And
yeah,
she carries herself like a wrestler. Like I said, her character is fine. Although production elements may seem a little more silly, like her herself, I just wish they let her do the heavy lifting with her character rather than you don't need the camera effect all the time. You just need her on screen.
yeah,
She's
yeah. I could
magnetic
do
enough. You know
without
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah, I could definitely do without that. Um, so I didn't put this on our rundown, but Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay. I absolutely love this match. This was probably my favorite match on the whole show, but was my favorite moment of the show, which we'll talk about later. But what did you
Oh
think of
yeah.
this? Yeah.
Oh yeah. This yeah, Danielson is a fucking animal as a wrestler. Like
Yes.
he took, I kind of talked about this with you briefly, but he took all this stuff that Will Ospreay does, like at 60 miles, at 50, 100 miles per hour, and stretched it out 45 minutes. And Ospreay was actually doing like calculated stuff here. It wasn't just spot, spot, spot. He actually, it was almost kind of like Pac. Pac is very calculated with how he does his stuff, and
Yeah.
Ospreay was actually being like there was this one part like usually with Will Ospreay match I just talk about the spots like the cool looking move because he does do cool looking moves, but there was a part here where he did like a ringside hidden blade to Danielson, and normally instead of letting the guy sell it, most people just getting right back up and throw him and until he gets back up to Ospreay let Danielson die outside of the ring, and he tried to go for a count out victory. But then when that
Yes.
didn't work, he was ready for Danielson and did that amazing drop kick and he was very calculated here. And I've never seen Ospreay this calculated before. I've never seen him wrestle this much, like jokingly saying.
To me, there's aside from like this match and the Kenny Omega match from Wrestle Kingdom last year, there's like four really standout Osprey matches that I've seen. Well, two other ones aside from the ones I just named. His match with Shingo Takagi from the Super Juniors in
That was really
2019.
good. That was very good.
I think it was the one of the opening matches on the same tournament with Dragon Lee that was just amazing. Well, Dragon Lee's a little different because they kind of have similar styles in a way. Shingo doesn't really. He doesn't wrestle like Will Ospreay, and that's kind of what happened here with Bryan Danielson, right? Because Bryan Danielson, he does a lot of like high flying stuff, but not all the time. He's very technical, right? Like Zack Sabre Jr. and Dean Malenko and all that stuff. But here, it's almost like watching this match. Bryan Danielson wrestled like he's been watching Will Ospreay matches. He knows what he does when. Like, especially remember that spot where Will Ospreay was getting ready to do the hidden blade.
And
Then
Danielson
Bryan,
caught him with
oh
a
my
knee.
God,
That was
that
amazing.
was
That was
fantastic.
No, that was amazing. And like later in the match, when when they had that standoff moment where Ospreay was taking off he was going for the hidden blade and Danielson was going for the knee, and Ospreay countered with the hidden blade. I argue the match could have ended there because it was a perfect parallel to that moment you just mentioned, But
Yes.
let's just say I'm glad he's retiring the Tiger Driver, because I was thinking about this, right? The Tiger Driver that he gave Danielson
Yes.
was rather safe. Look, it's still scary, but it was rather safe compared to he almost killed Omega with it, but they didn't retire it then. He does the safest one. Now let's retire. I mean, I agree with them retiring the move,
Yeah.
but it's like, damn, you could have retired it after you literally almost murdered Omega.
Because I
But
think the story is like Will Ospreay is moving away from the Don Callis family, so he's not trying to do the things that he was kind of advised to do,
yeah,
right?
he's the
Yeah.
biggest baby. He's one of the biggest baby faces in the company. He's with the biggest heel manager.
Yeah. Well, right. That the story he's breaking away from them. That's
I
what's
hope
going on
so.
now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I love what they did here, and the finish I thought was good. The Tiger Driver, and then Brian Danielson's like, writhing in pain, because we all know Brian Danielson's history with injuries and all this stuff. So I thought Brian Danielson was great, like putting that move over and stuff like that. But
he made Will Ospreay look like $1 billion.
man, it was
Like,
these two were just they were just outstanding. Um, this was a match like you should go out of your way to see. It was pretty damn remarkable, and just like with the crowd's reception to both of these guys was just crazy. When Will Ospreay was coming out, the crowd was singing along to his. They were plugging his name into his song,
yeah,
which
no,
was really
yeah,
cool.
yeah, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and the crowd was
That's
like, "Yeah, go ahead."
the like, how Monet's song, they like they put the CEO chants in her
Yeah.
song. The crowd was chanting naturally for us during Osprey's song. That wasn't a thing that was added into the song. The crowd did that. Like, it was
No, no,
natural.
no, no. The CEO, that's the crowd. That's not part of the song.
It is part of the song, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's
No.
mostly part of the song, but I mean, the crowd chants with
No,
it.
no,
It's
it's
kind of a part
not.
of the song.
It's not part of the song. That's the crowd doing that.
I don't know. I guess I got to go back and listen to it. But
No. Well, I don't know. I'll go listen to it
no,
and we'll
I
see.
think it's a part of the song. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure. I
it's
could be
not
wrong, but I
important.
think it's part of the.
But yeah, this go see it. Will Ospreay and Brian Danielson. This is crazy. Smojo, Shane Strickland, AEW World Title. What'd you think of this one?
Oh, this match was really, really, really fun. I do like Swerve a lot, and Samoa Joe is amazing. It as sad as it is that Joe didn't get that longer, memorable of a title reign. I am happy for Swerve. But the match was very good, and like, I was thinking of the JR quote. This is not a wrestling match. This is a fight. And then I realized that JR was on commentary.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, this match was really fun.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I kind of wish it had a little bit more time for
Yeah.
for things to kind of sink in, because again, if they took out that 6 man, um, honestly, yeah, it didn't hurt it, but it felt like I don't know, I wish I had like maybe 5-10 more minutes. I feel like everything kind of started and ended kind of a little too. I felt like it was a little abrupt in some spots. Not to say it was bad or anything like that, but maybe
I
like
mean, you
five.
could have maybe, I don't know, taken Jack Perry out of the equation too. That also wasted a lot of
Oh
fucking.
no, it didn't. That was very quick. That was not. It wasn't. It didn't take up too much time. They had an additional match that they could have taken off, and maybe 5-10 more minutes to the Joe Strickland match would have been a little bit better. But can't say anything too negative about AEW's first Black World Champion that actually
No,
has earned
I'm not.
that
It's
has
not like
the yeah.
the Swerve winning the title is not the negative part at all. It's the fact that the black person winning the world title didn't get the time they deserved.
At least Strickland got like a little bit of a celebration, unlike Joe when
Unlike
Joe
Willow.
won.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Unlike Joe and unlike Willow, but yeah, Joe got effed out of a celebration too. I'm glad Swerve
yeah,
actually got one.
yeah. At least they didn't sacrifice Strickland to tell some story that no one cared about, i.e., the devil. So yeah, that was
Not
good
yet.
here. It's kind of like redundant to bring up, but um the 4 hours every show is too much. Double or Nothing being 4 hours, that's fine. That's one of their biggest shows of the year, which is cool. But everything else, like, you're doing a lot more shows this year, so not every show needs to be 4 hours. That's it. Well, it's kind of exhausting to talk about, but again, that's what it is.
No, I mean
Yeah.
it's worth bringing up because it's true. Like 4 hours, Jesus Christ! Like
Yeah.
for God's sake, and they still didn't have enough time. Think about it. This show was 4 hours. They still didn't have enough time for the main event. That's weird.
I don't know if they didn't have enough time, but I just felt personally that maybe it could have used like 5-10 more minutes. But that's just me. Even though it was a great moment and Swerve got a great celebration, they didn't cut to the back or nothing. It was great.
The Devils didn't come out.
No, there was no hoopla. Yeah, you could say that about the match. There was no hoopla. And honestly, that was a thread throughout the whole show. There wasn't a lot of hoopla.
Not even in the Osprey match.
Let's move on to WWE Backlash France. That's happening this coming Saturday. We're recording this right before the last Raw before Backlash. So right now there's only 5 matches on the card. To me, that's fine. But after Raw airs, there'll probably be 1 or 2 more, maybe after SmackDown airs on Friday. But so let's start with AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes, WWE Universal title. What do you think?
I'm super excited for this match. Like this, like a lot of time, like when people like Becky have won. Like I remember when she beat Ronda Rousey. Our main critique of her feud was that her first feud out the gate after WrestleMania was someone who was not of her caliber. This is someone, Cody's first feud after an amazing WrestleMania win. His first feud is with a guy who's above him, above his caliber, if not on it. AJ Styles. I totally can't wait for this match.
Yeah, I do agree with that because Vince booked week to week, and it's not like Becky was Vince's like first choice for anything. They were kind of like backed into a corner. Okay, this girl's getting the hottest reactions. She's not Charlotte, but we gotta do something with her. And they didn't have a plan after WrestleMania with Becky. But here, the fact that they delayed Cody winning 1 more year, honestly, that was a good choice because he was arguably more over this year than last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they obviously have a plan for Cody, and they did the documentary for him and all this other stuff. He's doing all this. I think he's doing some Make-A-Wishes too, and all you see online is Cody interacting with fans and all this stuff. Not just Cody, and with Liv Morgan too. So they do have a plan for him. He's on the face of all of their marketing, the video games. So they have a plan for him, and I think AJ Styles, and they're selling this as an idea that they never wrestle each other. So what do fans usually complain about? Oh, same old stuff, same old stuff. This is something brand new that no one's ever seen.
They've never
before.
wrestled each other at all?
Apparently, I don't know. I mean, when Cody left WWE, AJ Styles was coming into WWE. So,
and not even in New Japan did they? Oh, they didn't. They definitely didn't cross paths in New Japan.
No,
AJ was all in WWE before.
He was already in WWE. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So when AJ Styles showed up to WWE, that was January 2016. Cody was still in WWE, but he wasn't on. They were presenting AJ Styles as the main eventer right away. Cody, they were not. He was Stardust at the time. So, yeah. There's no way they would have crossed paths. But the contract signing we were talking about before we recorded, outstanding. AJ got a little emotional talking about Dusty, and I love when AJ was like, you don't really understand the weight of being the champion, because AJ was champion before, and I think that's a great story, and I'm really excited to see this because these two, they're phenomenal in the ring, no pun intended. But they're also great talkers. They can talk people into the building. So I'm really excited to see how this goes. Don't see Cody losing at all. He's not going to lose, but
some people
he's going to get a fight.
Some people actually think that. Some people actually think, oh, yo, AJ should win. I'm like,
no, he shouldn't.
Not now. No,
should not win. No.
But no. This contract signing looked like an actual, like, 2 athletes promoting a contest for a world title. Like it was great. Like
and that's another
minimum what you can ask for in a wrestling feud, but they were both amazing.
And that's another thing. They're presenting this like a big deal. They're not just treating it as just another just a match. You know, it was just like remember in 2016 when Roman won the title and his first opponent was AJ Styles. And
Yeah.
I think that not no, actually no, I can't say that. They did kind of sort of presented that as like this is a main event thing. I would say maybe like Seth Rollins and AJ Styles for Money in the Bank. That was like just a wrestling match. You know, they didn't really present it as like this is a big deal, even though they wrestled like it was a big deal. They did have a
I
high
mean, it
caliber
still stole the
match.
show.
Oh
That
yeah,
match
it
still,
did that year.
that match
Oh,
still stole the show. It should have
absolutely.
been the main event, but for
Yeah,
some reason it wasn't.
but they didn't present it as such. Like
Yeah.
they're presenting as like this is a big deal.
This
And
is
I
the main
do
event of the show. The world
right,
title is the main event of the show.
100%. Damian Priest, Jey Uso, world title. What do you think about this one?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think Jay's winning at all, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think
No,
I
nor
don't know
should
if
he. Yeah.
yeah, but like nah, like I'm very excited for this. I'm like I don't know if this will be the match where Damian Priest kicks Judgment Day to the curb or not, because I think they're kind of building that. Like he seems, since Rhea is injured and she went away, Damian Priest is not being like kind of getting along with his buddies on TV. So I don't know. I'm really kind of excited to see what's going to happen with this match. Like what how like if Judgment Day is really in his corner or if he wants them in his corner.
That
You know?
too. And then there's the Drew McIntyre of it all.
Oh really? Drew
Right?
McIntyre. Oh yeah. Drew McIntyre is still pissed at him.
Yeah, he's pissed at Jay for a lot of reasons. And he's because of his history with the bloodline. And CM Punk kind of cost Drew the opportunity to wrestle Damian at Backlash. But
What a
I think,
cancer! How can you do that?
yeah, Damian's on fire right now, and so is Jey Uso. But I think long term, the Usos should get back together. But because I don't know if you saw, like Jey Uso, like outside of storyline, he actually kind of feels like he let people down with his WrestleMania match with Jimmy. So maybe this can be like a sort of like a redemption for him to kind of like knock it out of the park. But I also think that the Usos will get back together probably.
Like,
Um, yeah,
like I said this a lot. Like, even separated, they're still one of the best tag teams in the world. There are
absolutely.
still fewer tag teams that are better than them, and they're separated and hate each other
Right.
on storyline at least.
All right. Moving on to Bailey Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton, triple threat for the WWE Women's title.
Uh,
Um,
this should
yeah,
just be with Tiffany Stratton, like because
yeah.
Tiffany Stratton she wrestled Naomi already. And Tiffany Stratton did interfere in the match, but like, so I guess it's just pity for Naomi to be a part of the match.
But
I'd rather personally, I'd rather this be Bailey versus Tiffany, but I don't see Bailey losing at all. That would be ridiculous. The only person, if she was wrestling Jade, oh, I'll be like, oh boy, she might lose the title, depending on how fast they're pushing Jade. But I don't know.
yeah, I think that yes, they've been really pushing Tiffany the last couple of months, so I can understand it being Bailey versus Tiffany, and I agree with you. I do prefer that. Um, but maybe they could have built somebody else up for Bailey at least for this show and just do Naomi versus Tiffany one on one on this card. But I understand wanting to give Tiffany, you know, you know, give her like a big match on the pay per view because they see a future in her. It just didn't need to be a triple threat, I don't think. But Bailey's probably going to win, but pin Naomi and protect Tiffany, which is
Yeah.
probably the way to go. Um, Speaking of Jade Cargill, we got the Kabuki Warriors versus Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair for the women's tag titles. What do you think about
Oh,
this one? Yeah,
they might give them the tag titles.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they want Jade to be a singles champion at first. I guess maybe being, something. Then again, her being a tag team with Bianca wouldn't be the worst thing because that would help. But working with someone who's good as Bianca could elevate you exponentially. So them being a tag team together, whether they win this match or not, I think in wrestling, just wrestling often as they can, like would be pretty good for Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I agree. And also, they haven't been doing a lot of things with the women's tag titles, but I guess this is an opportunity to kind of like rehab those titles. But yeah, I do think this is a good opportunity to get Jade Cargill on show, and teaming her up with Bianca Belair is a great idea because she's great. Maybe she'll learn a lot from Bianca. And like on the draft on SmackDown, Bianca was the number one draft. She was number one pick
Oh,
for SmackDown, right? So, and she's not gonna. Bailey should be champion for a little while. So I guess this is a good way to keep her strong, and put her with Jade and everything like that. So I think this would be good for these two and for Jade. And maybe down the line Jade can like betray her and you can do that program.
yeah,
Um,
like they keep the if they win the tag titles, they can keep them for a little bit and then do an angle between Jade and Bianca.
yeah, right.
That would be great.
So I definitely think that Jade and Bianca are winning because Kabuki Warriors don't need to be champions for that long. They've had it already and they're pretty established. So uh they don't need to win here. Okay, here's a match I'm really looking forward to. This is Randy Orton and Kevin Owens versus Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. I
Oh,
don't have you seen the build up to this?
I saw Tama Tonga was murdered Kevin Owens. That was great.
Yeah, and
It was
then
amazing because like
yes,
you just see the cameras pan to the entranceway and you see Kevin Owens get thrown. I'm like, oh, okay. But then I see the side of his head is like bleeding. I'm like, what the hell? And then Tama
yeah.
Tonga comes out, man. That was funny.
And then on SmackDown, they were brawling like pretty much all night, and I thought it was great, and it was kind of believable. It was very believable because they were just going at each other, and security broke it up almost instantly. Not instantly, but like security got involved pretty fast,
Because Tama
and
Tonga is scary.
he's a scary man.
Very
Yes,
scary. I don't know if you ever seen his promos when he was in New Japan and Bullet Club. He's fucking
he's
scary.
insane. Yeah, him and his brother. When his brother comes in, oh my god.
Yo, that would be no, I mean, like, because at the time I thought they were just like if like the Usos like swallowed members of the Shield. That's how I used to think of Tama Tonga and his brother.
Yeah, but I think maybe Kevin Owens probably will pin Solo and protect Tama or Tama Tonga, and then we do Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga 1-on-1. But maybe
And
you
Randy
have
Solo.
Solo and Tama Tonga win, and you do just Tama Tonga and KO down the line, or maybe the next show, or what have you.
I'm kind of excited how Roman's gonna fit in back into the mix. Because
That's
I
a
know
good point.
Jimmy's injured though. That's the thing. I think Jimmy Uso is injured.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's injured.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, I know, because like I think they were originally doing like the Usos and Roman versus Tonga, uh, Solo, and I think Fatu.
Oh, that's right. Jacob
Yeah,
Fatu.
they were
That.
teasing this whole Bloodline Civil War thing, but that's
Oh
but
man,
no.
that's something. See, there's a lot of layers to this bloodline thing, which
Yeah,
I love.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm glad it has more legs, and
It makes
yeah, it's
Roman a
great.
baby face. It makes for a good baby face return for Roman possibly.
Yeah, and they're chanting, "We want Roman."
And even if Jimmy is I don't know how long he's gonna be injured, but they can always just do Roman versus Fatu at some point. I would love to see that. Or Roman versus Solo, because I think Solo wants to be head of the table.
Well, yeah, that's something. Yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. It's the Wrestling Caucus. I'm Peter A,
I'm Smiley Ariaga.
and you can listen to us wherever you get podcasts and follow us on the socials. Link is in the description. All right, later days.